Hey, everybody, welcome to Every Damn Friday. Look, you need to be paying attention to the people that are on these shows, the people who are playing the rambles. My 17-year-old daughter just texted me and said, Dad, have you heard of the Creekers? Like, they're like blowing up on TikTok. You should 100% get them at the barn. I was like, well, you know what? They played the last show at the barn that you were too cool to come to. So,
Great show. Great.
hey, I've got Lance Rogers with me. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm okay. I'm just checking my pulse right now because it's too high. It's too high. I had
Hey,
too many things
look,
on today.
Lance is a working man. I've got Lance Rogers with me. Lance he's going to be a guest at the next Ramble at the Randall. He's an old friend. He's got lots going on. He's got too much going on. Probably be talking to me tonight. He's probably got something that he needs to be doing. Uh,
Well,
but
needs to be done right here, man. This is
hey, there you go.
where we're.
Perfect. Well, so tell me what's been going on, man. I know what's going on, but the people at home don't know what's going on.
Gee, sometimes I don't know what's going on, man. It's just like irons in the fire.
Well,
Uh,
I always tell people it's first of all, it's good for my ADD to have a bunch of stuff going on, and then there's something about some of the things we do, creative endeavors. So much of it moves slow, and the wheel, like it's like turning a barge around, right?
okay.
So it's nice to have like 6 games of chess going at once, so you can move a piece on this board, and then you move over to the next board and move a piece, and sometimes I feel like that's what I'm doing. Otherwise, you sit there and look at your email waiting for a response
Yeah.
and you go crazy.
Well, I look up to you, man, because you're also a grinder, fellow grinder. Like you're part of the, you're part of this thing that's making Kentucky music special right now. You're putting the work in. You're shifting gears when you need to, and yeah,
Well,
I kind of relate to that.
I feel like we've always kind of you got into music a little bit later, as a possible career. Um, for me, I've been doing it for a long time, but I always did it with a band. And even though I was fronting the band and I was writing the music and I was singing, I was still never doing it as Josh Mitchum. So when the pandemic came and kind of all that went away, I was basically starting over anyway, right? So
Yeah.
um, I don't know. It. I, I was just listening to something that LV Shane, a friend of mine, posted because he left all of his Nashville management, all of his booking agents, all that kind of stuff on good terms. But he was like, "This isn't working, and I need a clean slate." And and he had said, I want to be an example of that you can do it the hard way.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like that's what we're doing. We're doing it the hard way.
It is the hard way. And I find that in life, if something's too easy, you got to question. It's a red flag. You should question that. If something's too easy, it's probably not the right thing. If you got to work for something, it typically turns out better in the long run. And
Well, either way, you appreciate it more, I think.
yeah, you look back in appreciation at the journey when that's what this is, man.
Well, and I think we're old enough too that we've had a lot of seasons of our life, and it's hard to be 25 and really kind of know that you've got the tiger by the tail.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to realize it till you lose it.
Yep.
And
I did.
we've kind of been through ups and downs, in personal lives and in our professional lives, and it's I can honestly, and you were a big help for me in trying to make the move, you know, going to another country and just saying, you know what, I'm banging my head against the wall here, trying to compete with people who are more talented and younger and maybe have more of an edge as far as where they live and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like, I just want to sing in front of people who really want to hear it.
Yeah.
And
And we
I
got.
found that. I found that over there, man.
I was glad that you took that initiative to go over. And you didn't wait. You just like you organized it. Cat helped you book some shows. Boom, you're out there. And now you're seeing the value of going back repeatedly. And one thing that's so great about this area that we live in is we have a great scene. We have a great scene, and that's what they don't have over there.
Yeah.
Their scene is very supportive of tribute acts. They're supportive of like modern country radio kind of stuff, which is great. There's a lot
Yeah.
of there's a lot of great things about that. But what they don't have is a an independent music scene that is doing anything at all.
Well, it's of course Stella went over there with me the first time, and and we got to meet a couple of those artists that are singing country music, right?
Yep.
And they do a great job of singing country music. But then when they try to write country music, original country music, and this is no like I'm not trying to be mean or any kind of slam or anything, but that's hard to do,
Yep.
right? It's hard to write a song about being from the South, uh, unless you're writing a song about being from South Wales. You know, it's a you know
Hmm.
it all we have to do is just talk, and it's a country song. So it
Yeah.
it was neat to go over to the long road and see because I heard some like because the only people who were American there were performers, right?
Yeah.
And you could kind of hear like look like this is like cosplay country, like they're just playing dress up and all that. And I'm like, man, I don't think so. I think they genuinely love the culture,
Yeah.
and even if they're appropriating it a little bit, like to me, it's like it's romantic and it's flattering that
It
they love it so much that they're gonna put the flannel shirt on and the boots and the jeans and the cowboy hat and you know and do the whole thing. Yeah, I thought it was very genuine, even though it's not natural to them.
it is, and what they, you know, some things we take for granted over here, and it's just like kind of being having some badass culture. So like the Wild West, that was kind of a tumultuous time, but it's also looking back on it, it was a bunch of tough people surviving
Yeah,
and building towns and cities of what we know today as, as the West. And it's a really interesting culture, and they love that. They love everything that goes, and also kind of Hollywood has been playing on it for years and years and years. So that, but
and I don't want to talk about that too much without talking about what you guys are doing. But something that another evaluation I've made, and I talked to the friends that I was staying over there with this time. We talked about it. It's like, they've got some socialized, infrastructure over there, like, you know, state health and some different things, but they don't have that we're talking about grinding. Like they don't have that entrepreneurial like I don't know like they go to work. They got a good job. They go to work. They'll drink them a couple pints at the pub, and then they go home. Like they're not as aspirational as Americans are. And I think it inspires them to see people who are like, no, nah, this isn't good enough for me. I'm going to keep clawing and scratching. Even if I got to, chop some wood or do whatever I got to do to pay for this. Like I'm going to do this thing. And I
that's a
think
good,
they appreciate that.
yeah. And in generalizations, is probably a wrong thing to say that, but overall, I can see that. There are some standouts like Jack Browning from
Oh
Memphis.
yeah, for sure.
He's a workhorse. He puts the time in. He's a great singer, a great writer. Um,
I guess I was talking about people like not artists there.
yeah,
I wasn't referring to artists, but just the general population is just they're lovely.
yeah,
But I think they're just like, we go to work. I'm gonna do my thing.
and
We're gonna go.
I love the fact that there are people that even in that kind of atmosphere are still breaking out and saying, you know what, I want something a little bit different. I want to go get it. Whatever's mine, I want to get it. And I think that attitude can rub off in a good way.
Do you think it's weird to that do you have to leave to come back? Because even Jack has done that. Like he was one of the very first podcast guests I had, and even then he was talking about how I feel like I'm just not getting respect here. I'm going to go. I want to get to America, and I want to be be around that. And then it seemed like he came over here and he did some stuff, and when he went back, they were like, "Oh, you went to America? You went to
Yeah,
Kentucky? Wow, that he had credibility all of a sudden."
yeah. There's something to it, and I tell you too, it's reverse. And we as Americans go over there, we experience what that's all about.
Yep.
Come back here, that's the first thing people want to talk about. It's like, oh shit, you just went to the UK, man. Tell me all about it.
Yeah.
It gives you whether it actually has practical leveling up uh, qualities to it or not, it's still pretty cool. It's still,
Listen, to get on a plane and fly over the ocean for 8.5 hours is next level commitment as far as I'm concerned.
it is. Yep. The first time I went over there, man, I got off the plane, got on a train, ended up down in Stafford, and Kat Deeds picked me up in her car, and I hopped on the left side of the car, which was weird. And
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
she drives like a bat out of hell.
well, she does, and God love her. I mean, she's nursing that broken ankle right now and getting back into it, but she's got Joe Clark and Cody Lee Meese just landed in Chicago, and they're getting ready to board a plane to go over right now.
Well, let's talk about what you guys have going on,
Okay.
because it is such a cool concept.
Yeah, we you know, I wanted to go over there. So Kat helped me, or she booked all my shows. She booked like 5 or 6 shows for me. And I went over there and I stayed at their house and they drove me around to the gigs. And we just had a ball. We had such a great time. And we're like, we got to do this more often. And I was like, I want to come back over again. Let's just keep it up. And so we got our heads together and realized like this needs to be a thing. And so we created For the Love of Appalachia, which is a nonprofit. All the money that is ever made with this goes into helping artists get over with plane tickets, accommodations, travel, things like that. Um, and
Yeah,
Cat,
because honestly, that's the big hurdle. You know,
it is.
you and I look, and people have different levels of what they think success looks like and what you should or should not be doing. I think it's probably a blessing you and I both have a job with some flexibility,
Yeah,
that I've got a baseline income. Well, it's like what Laid Back did. He taught until he retired. Like, they played when they could. I think for me, when I played music full time, it caused me to take gigs that I shouldn't have taken because I had to pay people, and I
yeah,
had I had to stay busy and keep on the road. And you know, so for these people that you're helping, you know, some of them are doing this full time. Some of them are, of course, most of all of them are doing it without significant, industry help.
yeah,
So the $700 plane ticket is kind of like, I can't cut that check just to go over there and see what happens. So it's
yeah.
huge.
The good thing is too that we've established some venues that we're working with directly now that they are giving us windows of time that we can just plug people in. And the artists come over, they're walking away with money in their pocket. So
Look, it was. I told Stella, I was like, I'm making the same money here as I make at regular bars I play at home, and I'm not having to play for 3 hours, and they don't want to hear any covers unless there's one that I want to play. I
yeah,
said, this is great. Like, I can get used to this.
it's great, man. And I love the fact of going back and back again. Um, there's a lot of artists probably going to do the same thing once they see like, oh man, I can come over here and play. It does help right out of the gate having some venues that may not have ever heard your name before, but they put and trust in that brand. The
Yeah.
brand For the Love of Appalachia, and so we're building that network of. So whenever they see For the Love of Appalachia, they can count on a great artist showing up to play them some music.
Yeah. Because you're not going to send over some hack.
We might,
well,
but
but you know what I mean. Like, I mean, I think there's a certain amount of quality control uh, that you're going to have with your brand, and we're not going to send somebody over there that's not out there doing the work, right?
that's the thing, man. It's like if somebody's out there grinding, they're out there doing their best, they're writing some good songs, and they're proving that they've gotten out there and they're doing the thing. That's what I look for. Also, you know, people on the way up. Once the Creekers played the Randall Barn, right after that, they might come back, but now they're like taking
Yeah,
off. So
yeah. We're gonna give all the credit to playing the Ramble.
I think that did it, man. It was the catalyst.
Well, but I think there's a certain, like, you and I both too have a pulse on what's happening, and I'm going to give us a little bit of credit of being able to recognize the grinders
Yeah,
and the people who have what it takes. Look, I'm if I'm being 100% honest as a business person, when I book shows, I'm trying to find people who are right there on that precipice of of what's next, so that I can afford them. Because I can't, I want to pay people what they want, what they're worth, and but I also, I want to, I don't, I want to raise the bar every time too. So it's like you gotta be paying attention to what other people are doing, and you
Yeah.
know, looking at their tours, and checking the routing, and but more than that, just like just kind of, I don't know, you're kind of taking a chance too, like this, I may be paying a lot of money for this person, and it's not going to be the biggest thing we've ever done, but so
Yeah.
far so good.
And I appreciate you putting me on it too, man. Like, I've been wanting to play that for a while. And the thing, man, it's like, as a musician, as a singer songwriter, you put a product out, and people judge it pretty quick. And sometimes they don't even listen to it and they prejudge it. But I didn't have a good response from my last album. I didn't have a whole lot of people listening to it. I never heard much about it. Not a whole lot of reviews, nothing like that. So in a way, I was like a little bit hesitant to put any more music out because I'm like, shit, I thought it was pretty good. And but I so it's I think a lot of people deal with that, and it's just a
Well, look,
do it.
let's just face it, they can't listen to your record in 15 seconds,
Yeah,
right? So really, all they're doing is looking at your Instagram and your TikTok and going, "Is this person doing anything?" Meh, I don't guess.
yeah.
And you know, and and,
It's
and
sometimes
I do the best I can to create content. But man, it's like if I can't just hit record and do it, like I'm not spending a whole lot of extra. I'm not editing anything. I'm not. I don't know, man. Like, but I think that's it's really hard to get people to listen to a record, to listen to the whole thing, to go from front to back. Like,
I realize what I realize is, I ask myself like, why am I putting music out to begin with? It's not it's not for entertainment for other people. I'm doing it because it's me. I have to do it. And if I do want people to appreciate it and listen to it, and I do love it when I get great feedback. Not saying that I don't, but what I'm saying is that I'm always going to write music. I'm always going to put it out. And I don't know if people are going to listen to it. I have a good feeling about some stuff that I'm doing right now that it's going to get out there, but ultimately I'm done with putting you know,
your
my
hopes and dreams into what
on
other people think.
yes, on what people are thinking about it. Now, does it matter? I do. It does matter because I think sometimes when we get that little burst of energy when somebody likes what we're doing, it's like, oh shit, you like that? I'm gonna do this. And if
Well, I think too. You know, I mean, we're at that place, right, where you put out enough music to where you realize that uh, it's once you've created it, it's not yours anymore.
yeah,
And it just with my last record, I told my dad, like, before, while I was finishing it up, before I started putting singles out and putting any time into trying to release it, I was like, Dad, I don't even know why. Like, why am I even doing this? And he was, and I knew, but I was just kind of saying it, but it's almost like you're preparing yourself for it not to do well, right? And
it,
he was like, "You never know, son. That one song." He said, "You got to keep writing it because that one song may still be, lurking."
yeah,
And and that record got me an indie record deal. Now it's not. I mean, I'm not. It's not flying me around on jets or anything, but I'm getting to go make a record somewhere with somebody, and um, I'm getting to have another adventure. Right? It moved me on to whatever the next step was.
and the what a confidence booster that is when you have enough people that says, man, I want to invest in you. I want to give you a record deal. And I was thinking about that. Early on, I think I was trying a little bit too hard to impress people or whatever. I didn't really know who I was. And, you know, did I waste some time? Not really. I put in a lot of good work, but I think my attitude is changing the older I get. The older I get, the more confident I feel in what I in the future, honestly, and realizing that the past is there. I got some good music out. but that's not going to define me from what I'm doing now. Now,
Well,
what
so like
that
Jericho Woods had more maybe had more opportunities during that period of time. And of course, we were a full band and we did the Nashville thing and all that kind of stuff. But if I'm still in Jericho Woods, maybe I'm not doing the rambles. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not home with my family during this time when I really had an opportunity to drive my kids to school and go to ball games, and or I'm not sitting in London leaving my keys in my friend's car as I get on the airplane. You really have to look at like, man, this is all leading to whatever God's plan was. You know,
Yep.
you're just trying to be a conduit and just try to listen and pay attention for signs and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like what you just said, man. It's true. I've been doing so many different things lately, creatively. With the podcast that I'm doing called Falling Forward. I've gotten back into acting. I've got a lead role in an independent movie that I'm going to be working on in October. I'm working on this other EP that's coming out, and then the whole For the Love of Appalachia, and then helping Kat with whatever she needs as far as she want to. She's doing some booking with for some artists in this country with Amy Fletcher.
Oh
So
yeah.
try to help them out however I can, whatever that's going to look like. But there's so many things, and then I've been moving lately. I just got engaged. Um,
Congratulations.
so thank you so much, man.
You out kicked your coverage there, buddy.
Well, she's great, man.
She is great.
It is Wendy is something special, man, and I recognize that, and I put a ring on it. I'm like,
There you go.
yep,
Very Beyonce of you.
yes, but she's who I've been looking for, waiting for, man, and
Well, she's a fan of music in the scene. You
she
know,
she
it
loves she loves good music, and come to find out, she had been coming to a lot. She came to a lot of my shows through the years, but I was always like in a relationship, and then it worked out one day where I was at Alice Bar, and Sarah Kane, Daniel's wife now, they were just engaged at the time, but she was like, "You ever think about Wendy?" And I'm like, she's like, "Go talk to her." So I went over and talked to her, and we're slow dancing on the floor. I'm like,
that's so middle school of you all.
it was, man, and I think we were both of that. We're the same age, and like it was exactly the right thing. And I asked her on a date the next day, and we've been dating ever since. And I proposed to her on our 1 year anniversary, and it was her birthday.
Wow.
So
I can't believe it's been that long
it's
already.
been a year, man. And now I'm moving here with her in Harrodsburg. Um, and we don't have a wedding date set, but we're working on that coming up.
Well, again, it's like it seems like you're letting a lot of positive stuff into your life. A lot of in the fact that you know I don't know. It's like Spooky Fox. He messaged me a while ago and was like, "Hey man, I'm doing my yearly sending emails out to festivals. Have you got any emails or connections you can send me?" I was like, "Hey man, I'll send you everything I got. Uh, hopefully you'll have more luck than I do." And he's like, well, "I'll send you all the ones that I have." It's like we are we are in the best like positive. Listen, if I had $10 million, I would start a Kentucky record label, and that's all we would do is just
Started,
put this music out all over the world.
yeah. We we definitely have hell. We have so many special people that are not giving up, that are going to make it, and that's what it takes, man. It just takes that determination.
What Nick and I were talking about it, and he was like, because he experienced that, they can still go and Sunday Best can still go sell out a pretty big room, right? But Nick Jamerson is still out there, even though we all are like, man, you're such a great songwriter and you're awesome and you should be huge. He's still very much in like at this middle tier, right? Um, and I think he struggled with that some, but he's kind of like, you know what? I really like where I'm at, and I feel like I can do this for a long time. And I think we all, A, we're wanting respect from the people around us that we respect ourselves. And then I just, in the words of Dallas Moore, don't go away, amigo. Like, I think that's the key. You're gonna you're gonna build a fan base if you don't quit. You're
Yeah.
going to make new friends if you don't quit. You're going to you're going to have a bigger body of work that's, ultimately you should have more great songs if you don't quit. And I don't know. I think somebody like you is a real good mentor for these people that you're helping out, you know.
Thanks, man. And I don't hesitate to promote people that I believe in. And I try to, people reach out all the time. They're wanting to co-write or do something, and if I have the time, I will. And that's just I've been helped out a lot along my path. I'm going to be 48 years old this year, and
Woo!
I wrote my first song when I was about 38.
Yeah.
I've about got that 10-year mark, and I think that that's just the beginning on it. Like,
I do too. Look, I wrote my first song probably when I was 17. So almost uh 30 years ago. And and there was definitely periods of time where they were terrible. But it's like, Springsteen would write 100 songs to have 8 or 10 on an album.
yeah,
And it is a craft and it is a skill, and then just learning how to be inspired sometimes.
yeah.
And it doesn't just hit you. You have to be kind of walking around looking for it.
And I
Um,
like the good thing about being, the age that I am is that I got a lot of stuff to write about now, and I have so many notes in my phone that will become songs eventually.
yeah,
But the ones that I'm working on right now, I just did a co-write with Jeremy Marshall from Hollerhead.
yeah.
That song,
They're so good.
oh, it's this. He said that's the first co-write that he's ever done,
Really.
and it turned out to be a song that it brings tears to my eyes when I even think about it. And I played it. I played a rough phone demo for Wendy and Jamie Gaddis the other day. We're all sitting around in tears, and Jamie hit me up. She's like, um, "When are you going to get that song produced?" Because so that song's going to be on the EP. The song "Golden Hour" is my
Yeah.
single that's dropping. It's going to be dropping September the 12th.
Okay.
And that song it's a different sound for me. I'm leaning into more of my grunge high school years, and that kind of sound is like it's always been appealing to me.
Hey,
Um,
look, I did a full rock record
yes,
just
love
just
it.
because I wanted to. Like, it
I
was
love
for me too. It was just for me.
Yeah, and I think that there's something special about those moments too, where you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, and then you may backtrack. You may like, now I'm gonna do a stripped down acoustic album. It's just gonna be all country, and there's nothing wrong with switching it up. A lot of people do that through the years.
Oh yeah. Well, look, all of our favorites. I mean, they like. I mean, well, I'm not comparing us to Bob Dylan, but all the like, nobody should expect you. Like, that was the funny thing about, like, with Tyler's new record. Like, all the people who were so mad when it turned out to not be, Purgatory, 2.
Yeah,
I'm like, you already got that record. I want to hear about koalas with chlamydia.
yeah. That's also the thing that, man, I think that's a special moment too, when you finally do get enough traction. That fan base that you've got sees what is happening, and they go all in, and then it gives you a little bit of flexibility to experiment without without rocking the boat too much. Now you will rock the boat when you switch up your sound,
Yeah.
but having, Tyler is at that point in his career already, and honestly, it's not a very long career yet. Like, he has a
No.
entire lifetime, but he has the option right now to do what he wants to do, and without a lot of repercussion. He's gonna rock the boat, sometimes probably purposely, but I think coming up, we get so afraid to rock the boat too much that we're going to turn everybody off, and they're not going to become that core fan that we need. But I don't know. There's something to be said about saying your piece, regardless of who it pisses off sometimes. And that's kind of
Well,
what
and I
art.
think what you're saying too, like, look, like, who cares? Like, I don't think anybody's gonna not like you. They're just gonna go, well, I like those songs better. These are fine, and they're gonna stick around and wait and see what the next thing is too. I mean, I don't want fair weather friends anyway. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay if you don't like everything I do. We can still be friends.
Yep. You're gonna have some of that, man. Everybody does. Anybody in the art is gonna push boundaries, and you're gonna.
Well, and you were talking about too, like finally figuring out who you are. I saw a video of Picasso. He said it took me 4 years to paint like Rembrandt, but it took me a whole lifetime to paint like a child.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah. That's a great thought.
yeah,
That,
it's real easy you have to be real careful about being fans of your contemporaries because you end up sounding like them because you listen to them. Like you almost have to watch out with becoming too big of fans of people that you're kind of out sharing the road with because you don't want to be too influenced by it. Um,
have you ever got? Do you have any friends that have like very distinct laughter?
yeah,
You hang out with them for a while, you will start to laugh like them because
yeah,
their laugh is so distinct that you will start to pick up on that. And it's an adaptive quality that we have as human beings. Like we don't want to stick out too much.
yeah,
So we were just like, oh, they're laughing like that. Sometimes it's subconsciously, but we
yeah.
start to pick that up. And it's the same with like what you're talking about. We immerse ourselves in a certain type of music by a certain person. We are naturally going to sound like that. And sometimes it can create something brand new. Some people make somebody of being like, oh, you're just trying to imitate so and so. But I think it's if you do it the right way, it's kind of a flattering thing to an
It
artist.
is. It's the highest form of of respect, I think. Tell me about these shows you got coming up, man. I mean, when Chris Knight posts, like tags you in one of his posts, that's a pretty cool moment.
I Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. He's one of my favorites of all time. He is one that I listened to a lot when I was first starting to write music. But yeah, we're doing that show with Chris Knight. It's a festival lineup, and then I've got the World Chicken Festival I'm playing. I'm direct support for Blackberry Smoke.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
I got to do that one time. It was they're the real deal, man. They are so cool.
I'm really nervous about it, man. I don't like to admit that I'm nervous about stuff, but this one is a
Hey, my
it's,
daughter, your kids played sports. My daughter plays sports. I said, if you don't get butterflies, you're not nervous, you're excited, and uh,
yeah.
and if you don't get butterflies, you don't love it anymore. Like I still get butterflies, but that's a good thing.
I just want to, because Charlie Starr, the lead singer, and I are cousins. We've never actually met, so I'm gonna have that kind of like I want to have that conversation with him because we've chatted throughout the years, but we've never met in person. And I just kind of want to put on a good show. So he kind of likes it. You know what I mean? And my music it's distinctly different than what he does. And but I'm really looking forward to that show. It's going to be what it's going to be, but it's going to be the biggest. I think it's going to be the biggest audience that I've played in front of.
How many people do they usually have there? Like 10,000.
It's a lot. Yeah, and Blackberry Smoke's going to draw them out to the crowd, and we're the spot right before they get on. So we're
You,
gonna.
man, that is this was always my mentality, and I probably lost some gigs this way. Uh, but if I was opening up for somebody great, I'd look at everybody and go, let's kill it. Like let's make them. I hope that they are mad that the coordinator put us in front of them. Like that is my goal,
Yeah,
especially in those moments where it's a real opportunity to try to make some new fans that somebody's going to have there,
yeah.
and I go out there and kill it, man.
I'm gonna try, man. I'm really gonna try. I'm gonna try to keep it up tempo. I probably do outside the lines because that's kind of my most popular song that I've got out there. I'm gonna do that one. The rest of them are just gonna be up tempo. Just try to get warm the crowd up a little bit. But I've got Chris Bentley's going to be on the cajon with me. I got um, let's see, Logan Henry on lead guitar on that show, and then Samuel Locke out of Nashville. He is a badass little fiddle player.
Fiddle player, yeah. I
Yeah,
know Sam. Yeah. You're good. You're gonna kill it, dude. Don't worry about it.
I'm hoping that
They're
we're
gonna
just,
take you out on tour with them. That's what's gonna happen.
dude. That would be incredible. That would, but
Yeah, we
crazy.
were talking about our wonderful music scene. In the course of our interview, I've gotten 2 texts from Nick Jamerson, and I just saw a message pop up from Tim, uh, and he's got a big festival going on. So I'm surprised uh, that he even had time to message me. Um, Man, we're in a really good spot and a good time to be where we're at.
Surrounded by good people too, man.
What so EP, the whole thing is going to be released when?
I'm going. I got studio time booked in November.
Okay, so you still got work to do.
Yep, it's going to be an early 2026 release, and I want to get.
Okay.
And I just wanted plenty of time to be able to promote it properly. This lead off single, Golden Hour. I think, people are probably going to get tired of seeing me after it gets out there because I want to.
No, no, no. I was talking to somebody one time. They said you get tired of it long before everybody else will, and you may have to post something 6 times before somebody sees it the first time.
Okay.
You
Yeah, I
know,
mean,
that's
it's
just how the algorithm is. Like it's like you do what you got to do. Like there's and you're probably going about it the right way. I like the single album. I think Jonathan Payton and Abigail, there seems like they're releasing a new song every week, and I think for them it works out really good because they don't have a record label, they're self releasing, and it kind of keeps them in everybody's ear.
losing some daylight, brother. I'm back porch.
It feels you got your long sleeve shirt on though because it feels good.
Well, it's a short sleeve, but it's a
Oh, okay.
yeah. But
Um,
it feels really good out here, honestly.
oh my gosh, this is the best. I'm gonna go get in my Coleman hot tub maybe here in a little bit. My blowed up hot tub. So for people who are, by the way, did you see this?
It's an OG shirt, man. I love it.
Uh-huh. For people that are wanting to see the music that you have now or find out more about you, like where do they go? What do they need to do?
I mean, the biggest source is like Instagram. It's Lance Eric Rogers on there, and I'm doing some TikTok stuff. I used to have a website, and I really didn't need it, so I took it down. And I want to revamp everything anyway for this new project that's coming out.
Kind of brand everything
Yeah.
around.
And this is one thing that I haven't done either. I've sold out all my merch, and I haven't done anything to bring it back. And what I'm waiting for is kind of demand, because I feel like I got a lot of great merch out there, and I sold it. And the last wave of shirts that I bought, it took me a long time to sell them. So what I want to do is I want to create some demand with my new music coming out, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to decide on merch. So
Maybe have it thematic where it's very much related to the music that you're putting out.
yeah,
It's significant to the songs or whatever.
like Golden Hour, it's going to have probably its own T-shirt, maybe a
Yeah.
couple different designs.
I'll say this: I took those shrink wrap bags where you put the vacuum on them so you can for packing, and I took all the T-shirts and all the hats that I had of my new shirts and hats in a suitcase over to England and sold every one of them.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I was worried. I'm like, is it really worth taking all this crap over here? If I have to bring it all back, am I ever going to get it back into the bag as tight as I got it in? And I
Sometimes
don't know.
the merch can pay off the plane ticket.
Well, what ended up happening is the merch paid for me getting a new key cut with a key fob for my truck.
Oh,
Don't do that, by the way.
yeah.
Tell everybody about your podcast before we get off here.
The podcast is Falling Forward. It's FO apostrophe D. it is a mix of interviews and truck repairs and cigar reviews. Um, but ultimately, it's catching a story of somebody's moments when they're down and they pick themselves up and they learn something from it and they move on. That's what it's about. And it's always filmed in my truck. 99% of the time, it's filmed inside the cab of my pickup truck, which is a '75 Ford F-250 Highboy,
which is awesome.
and it's a rust bucket. But um,
I wish it could make it all the way to Webster, but it may be a little too far.
well, I mean, it probably needs a little bit of work. I took it out the other day and got in the creek with it in Richmond.
I
And
saw that.
yeah, that was a fun little project. I did an interview um, with Tony Higdon, the hat maker,
Yes.
and while we were down there, Erica Chambers, she had a few models down in the creek, and she was doing pictures with all of Tony's hats. And so that's why I had the hat on in the interview. Tony Higdon made that hat for me back in the day, but I love people's stories. I love getting them out there, and it's not always doesn't always have to be a famous musician. It can be just somebody that has a great story. And I focus on a lot about the music industry, but entrepreneurs, anybody that puts themselves out there, takes a challenge and a risk, and sometimes they fall, but we get back up and we fall forward, and it's we learn lessons along the way, and Lord knows I have.
I made a post today. It says, you don't trip over things that are behind you.
That's a good way to be, man.
Well, brother, I'm a huge fan of everything you're doing. I feel like we kind of walk the same path in a lot of ways. But what you're trying to do for young artists and what you're trying to do for Kentucky music, uh, I hope everybody's appreciating that. I know I do. Uh, it's it takes a village, and it also it gives everybody hope, and it gives it sometimes really people aren't looking for fame; they're looking for community, and for so many people, music is their therapy, and if they can find like-minded people that they can have that therapy with, uh, sometimes that's really all we're looking for. But I appreciate everything that you're doing. I can't wait to see this movie, by the way.
Yeah, I'm like it's gonna be like a suspense kind of you know slightly scary movie.
Do you
Uh,
get to kill anybody?
I'm not gonna say anything about it. Not anything about it other than it's kind of a thriller,
Okay.
psychological thriller, which
I can get down with that. I won't watch it before I go to bed then. I'll
it,
watch it in the daylight.
the director told me to get a haircut, so I've got to get a haircut soon, and he
Uh,
leave my beard unkempt. So
well, that's no problem.
yeah,
Well,
I'm
brother, I appreciate everything you do, and I can't wait to have you here on September 19th at the Ramble.
man,
Guys, go find Lance on all the social medias. I promise he doesn't have TikToks of kittens or anything like that, but there's probably some really good music and some words of wisdom. Go check out For the Love of Appalachia. It's on all the socials as well. Support those artists. If you're looking to sponsor one of these trips, they'll take your damn money and they'll recognize you and
yeah,
make sure you get some notoriety. So, guys, as always, thank you for watching every damn Friday, and thank you for supporting these people that I have on here. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next week. Thank y'all so much.
gosh, love you, brother.